There. She's still just waving. We've been here for an hour at this point. Hey there, Jeff! You gave Ryan a good trashing. Alright. I don't really have much topics to talk about. But, I've been trying to learn magic tricks. That's been a thing I've been doing.
How's that going?
Oh, you know, like, the very first one I did, I failed, completely. I did it to my sis
That's
Alicia.
how magic works.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's a really easy
I tried
trick.
to teach you magic last time I came up, but you didn't want to learn.
No, I did learn. I did
like
not
it.
have a fun time. Your magic is not as good as just about anything. Actually, you know what? Let's pause this magic tricks. This debate has been a long time coming, Derek. I'm ready to tackle the Magic versus Yu-Gi-Oh argument again. All right, I can prove that Yu-Gi-Oh is better, and it's for the exact reason that you think Yu-Gi-Oh is bad. But I think I've told you this before. Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic are the same length of game. And you're like, no, Magic takes longer. And Magic does take longer. You're not wrong.
Yes.
But it takes longer because it's paced slower. It goes through the exact same beat. Oh, by the way, Professor Nya. Oh, thank you.
It doesn't go through the same beat. Because there's a back and forth. There's more back and forth.
No, Derek, it's literally the same thing. You're just waiting before you can do your combo. Instead of getting your combo off, like, through a few cards immediately, and getting it over with, you're just waiting until you charge up enough to do the thing you want to do. It's the same beat. They just pace it slower.
Well, no, Zinker, that's not true, because there are certain decks that are what's the word? They I can't think of the word for it. They don't you don't wait and then you don't just wait and go off. You just they're like, oh, fuck, what's the word? I can't think of the words. There's a perfect word for it. I can't think of it.
But they do some things, which then leads to other things, which then leads to other things.
It doesn't.
But it's across multiple turns.
That's not. It's not. It's not just like something that leads to something else that leads to something else. Some things are literally, or some decks are literally just like they're paced where like every turn you're just doing something. You're just doing something that's on par with whatever turn you're on.
Right. But that's what I'm saying.
Like on par with power of what turn you're on.
It's just
you're not like
it's
you're
paced
not
out
you
slower.
don't.
That's it. Yu-Gi-Oh is the same thing. It's just it's all.
But
it
allows
quicker.
for more back and. But it allows for more back and forth because for Yu-Gi-Oh you do all your thing in one turn and then your opponent does all their thing in one turn.
You do. I mean, I kinda. Well, I would say more like 2 turns on average, unless you have specifically a 1-turn KO deck. But I mean, like that's the difference though. It's just that like it's a lot more turns for Magic to get through the same thing. But it's less, it takes more time to build up stuff. Either or, regardless.
It's because Magic is set up to have a it's set up to have that pacing. And that's why people like it. It's because it's a better pacing. It's not that you're just waiting longer to ultimately do what the thing you were going to do. It's that because you're waiting longer because you're having that pacing, which gives you more chances to interact with your opponent.
Right.
Which is what ultimately leads to it being more entertaining. Is you don't just sit there and watch them cycle through everything.
It's just
slower. You don't have to sit there and watch them cycle through the same things over and over and over again.
Derek, speedrunners.
It's because you can't do it all at once.
Let's talk about speedrunners.
That's the point.
What do? They go through the game quick as possible. They get a lot of fun out of doing that. Yu-Gi-Oh is just the Magic the Gathering speedrun.
Why would you want to speedrun your game though? Why would you want to just play? Why do you want to play a bunch of fast games?
Right, so as someone who's played
like
both,
a few fast games
you introduced it to me. What I disliked the most about Magic was just how little was going on. It's true, like it was paced out more. But like,
We were playing low power because I was trying to teach it to you first.
right? But I mean, still, I think it's still kind of.
If you play higher power, okay, here's the thing with Magic. Magic was broken when it first came out. If you play, Magic has two types of formats. There's the high power and there's the low power. The high power formats play like Yu-Gi-Oh, where you just immediately go off. The low power ones, or like casual things like what we did, are meant to be like to take longer. That's why Magic has all sorts of different formats. Is because some of them, like, there are formats in Magic that are just, you play just powerful stuff that just cycles through incredibly quick. Like you're done in they're like 1 to 2 turn formats. But there's the more popular formats are the ones that are like between I guess 3 and 8 turns, I guess. A turn being I go then you go, that's 1 turn. Not like I go, that's 1 turn, you go, that's 1 turn.
Right.
Because the games
Yu-Gi-Oh!
measure their turns differently for some
Dual
reason.
length is 3 to 8 turns, but that's I go turn 1, you go turn 2. See that? Oh God, I just hit my mic. I'm sorry, Mike. I did not mean to domestically abuse you. It was directed at Derek. It's because Derek likes it though. I wouldn't hit him because I'm mad at him.
Yeah.
I only hit him to reward him for giving his best argument. But what was I gonna say? Shit, I had it, but you kept interrupting
Magic's modern
me.
format.
Well, rather, I was not interrupting you.
Magic's modern format.
I'm not done. Not done. Oh, yes.
Magic.
So, low power.
You say as you're interrupting.
Right, but I was trying to get to my point, and I don't want to forget it again. All right. Magic, low power. We did low power Magic. And you may not accept this, although you should because you use we were using low power decks for Yu-Gi-Oh! Gem Knight, Dynamist, Sharks. They're not
I was using
melodious.
Low power because I refused to use stupid high power.
Right.
You listed a bunch of decks I used.
No. Klee is high power, or was at the time. Klee, fuck, what was that pendulum deck? I don't know. Oh God. It was a stupid pendulum deck that it was a recyclable trap card that shuffled your cards back into the fucking deck. Dumb. Literally dumb. But, those were the high-powered decks. Magician Girl, I think, was high-powered, actually. That was one I used. Magician Girl is stupid. No! Dark Magician was a magician. Yeah, no, I think Magician Girl? Maybe. I can't remember.
I think the only high-power deck I ever used was Frightfur, and I don't even think it was high-power.
Frightfur was high-power
the way I
for a
played
little bit. I think it stopped being it. But I don't think your version was.
Yeah, I don't think mine was.
Same
I
how
never
my
built
Klee.
high-power in Yu-Gi-Oh!
I had a Klee deck, and my Klee probably wasn't like
I
high
didn't
power.
like it.
But the deal is, like, we did low power in Yu-Gi-Oh! If we did low power in Magic, and it was a lot quicker. It was for Yu-Gi-Oh! And it was a lot more fun, and things happen still, you know, like, you would get a Gem Knight, and like, for Gem Knights, for example, and I have to figure something out, or you get a Melodious down, and I have to figure something out. Well, the Melodious for Shark decks, those ones dragged on, but that's just Melodious.
See, the thing was, Zinker, is that the
first deck you made, essentially, was Melodious. And what's Melodious do? Stall out for a long time and make slow progress towards getting rid of it. Proof is in the pudding, Derek. That's the pudding right there.
I think the thing that you're missing here is the low power decks are the ones that I was building, and the reason that games took a while was the reason games ever took a while was because I was playing a low power deck something. Otherwise, your deck, most of the games we played, your deck just did the thing, and I just kind of perished.
Oh, I think there was high power version, but like, no, because like Gem Knight was low powered. You had the Frightfur one, and those still lasted about like the 3 to 8 turns Yu-Gi-Oh! Standard. Not Magic Standard. But that's what I'm
Zinker,
saying.
the 3 to 8 turns is short.
It's short for Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah.
3 turns is
well, for us.
Zinker, three turns is I went, then you went, then 3 turns is you went, then I went, then you went, and I died. I had 1 turn in that case.
Well, then we started moving up to 12,000. When we moved up to 12,000, way better. I still think Yu-Gi-Oh! Should
Zinker,
extend their life points. Easily.
I don't know how people can enjoy a 3-turn game.
3-turn game.
For the person who won, they got to play 2 turns. For the person who lost, they played a single turn, unless they lost on their own turn.
I don't even know if
in
high
which case,
power
I guess
goes
they
that long.
played 2.
To be fair, some of our best matches they don't really go for 3 turns though. We haven't had the only time.
And that's when I like it. That's when I like playing, is when it doesn't just take 3 turns.
Right. But most of the time, when it gets really short, too, you use something like, not just low power, but like no power, almost. I forgot I was 4 times weak to ground.
I had several no power Zinker, yes, I had several no power decks, like that makes you attack me to make you lose.
Right. Right? And like, once I got past the one thing, it was over. And sometimes that would happen. Yu-Gi-Oh!
It's because...
honestly,
Zinker,
Yu-Gi-Oh goes more for like 4 or 5 turns. Which
I never wanted to build high power things because I didn't like the games that went between 3 and 5 turns. I like the games that take at least 8 or more. I like having the time to do more things. I like making ridiculous things happen in the first place. I like having a little bit of setup time. That's why I like Magic, is because Magic allows you a little bit of setup time. Your opponent might pull or get an advantage over you in the first 2 or 3 turns, but they're most likely not gonna win in that time. In high power formats, of course they will, but that's why I like the lower power ones. So a couple turns are more. It's like a setup phase. It's like in Fortnite when you it's like a Fortnite Save the World, when before the waves of things attack you, you get a little bit of time to build a fucking structure around whatever you're trying to protect.
Here's the deal. I have not encountered the problem that you faced in Yu-Gi-Oh! With all my low power decks. I've always gotten something off, unless I've gotten a hand so god-awful bad. Like 5 spell cards. I mean, we usually reshuffled in that, but like something of the sort.
Also, Zinker, what you call a low power deck and what I call a low power deck are 2 different things. For one thing, I also refuse to use Pendulum or anything like that.
Yes.
Because I thought that it was just I still think it's just inherently overpowered.
No, it's not. They nerfed it. In both senses. By making it take a spell zone, that really nerfed it a lot. For a lot of my decks anyhow. And what they did with Link monsters made Pendulum worthless. Essentially.
Link, I know, from my understanding, Link made a lot of things really dumb, but
Link made it so you basically need to have Link monsters, which I dislike. If there's anything that I could say about Pendulum, whether you like it or not, at least for Pendulum, you were not required to use Pendulum monsters in a deck you wanted, you know? Link is not like that. You need Link monsters, for the most part. Otherwise, you're getting 1 extra deck monster. Even for, like, Flower Guardian, that doesn't work for me.
So, the other thing is, I think the other thing, too, is, as you may recall or not, I sent you an article, a Magic article, about 3 types of players: Johnny, Spike, and Timmy.
Right.
Not in that order. It's Timmy, Johnny, Spike, and we are both two different people, 2 different types of people. I'm very much Johnny, and I would say you are very much. I would say you are a Spike, or at the best, if you want to really argue it, you could maybe argue that you're Johnny Spike.
Yeah.
I'd say you're just Spike.
I'm Johnny Spike. I'm not just Spike. No, I do what's fun.
Derek,
there is not a single game that I haven't played where it's been, like, I use the stuff I want to use. But, you know, case in point, Pokemon. Like, Pokemon, I use Scaling Cincino. No! Slurpuff. And, like, OU. So, OU is, like, the meta, essentially. The most basic stuff. The most used stuff. That's what overuse stands for. Slurpuff, at the time I used it, was either underused or rarely used. Underused is a tier below OU. RU, which is rarely used, is below UU. And then I think there's NU, never used, too, actually. I might be wrong about that. But, I would bring Slurpuff into OU and sweep with it. Same thing with Skilling Cincino. Which they were not, like, the most competitively viable Pokemon. And what I would do is I would take them, and I would make them super fucking competitively viable. You see my Slurpuff, you don't have, like, Scizor or Metagross, you're probably screwed that first turn if you don't do something fast. Because what Slurpuff does is, Ooh, Quiver Dance. What Slurpuff does, or at least my Slurpuff, the one I designed, it uses Belly Drum first turn. This causes it to get to half health, which has it eat a citrus berry it's holding. Doing this then triggers its ability Unburden, which basically doubles its speed for the rest, as long as it's in. As long as it's in, its speed is doubled. And that's not like speed sharply raised, like its speed stat is just doubled. I think it's I'm pretty certain it breaks on switch out, but I basically outspeed most everything. I'm at about 75% health, and I'm at max attack. I have Drain Punch to heal myself and deal with steel types, and I play rough. And just for funsies, I think I had fucking Cotton Guard, or maybe it was Rest or something. I had something like that to keep me I can't quite remember. It's been so long. I would sweep people often. I did some Pokemon Showdown too. So like this is like everyone's at perfect IVs and stuff. This isn't like like I have perfect IVs and the other people don't, or the kids using like Mega Rayquaza. These are like people who are competitively playing. And I would it was literally a mono poison team with one wild card. It was for RIT's Pokemon League, actually. What happened was I made an all steel team for a little gym leader challenge we had, which is everyone fought with a mono team and a wild card, I think. And my steel team just didn't do that well. I wasn't very happy with it. It did okay. Like I had a competitive beats, but like there are Pokemon I hadn't used before, so it didn't quite all line up for me. And I was hearing this other guy tell me about how Poison is like a really good mono team because it's only weak to Psychic and Ground. It's effective, and there's just not a lot of things that deal with it. And at the same time, my friend taught me about a Golbat that was like a nasty fucking Golbat to deal with. But you allowed one wild card, so, and I don't know where I got Slurpuff from, but I just went for Slurpuff. And I wouldn't even get to the other fucking Pokemon. And that Golbat, man, it was really just Slurpuff and Golbat, like, fucking taking that team for a ride. I think I also had Scolipede and Drapion, both of which were great. That was 4 of them. I can't remember the other 2. I think I tried out Seviper, but I don't think Seviper stuck. I don't know what Pokemon's coming out, I forgot. I hope Doug can take them.
I'll give you the Johnny Spike. From the argument from Pokemon, yeah, I can give you that.
I do the same thing with Yu-Gi-Oh! I really just, like, I chose a random deck, in whatchamacallit. He has Levitate? Oh yeah, he does. I chose a random deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! When I first started, just so I could play with, friends. I don't know how I ended up with Shark. Everyone told me I was stupid. I use a 60-card deck, and most competitive people use 45, but I use 60. I remember fighting my friend who was like really into competitive Yu-Gi-Oh at the time, and she was like, "All right, if I win this," I wasn't as clearly, I was not as confident as I was beforehand, like, you know, as I am now of Yu-Gi-Oh, but like before we fought, she's like, "All right, if I win this, you gotta go down to a 45 deck like regular people do." And I was like, "No, I don't want to do that," and then I fucking destroyed her. Felt great.
Yeah.
But,
well, okay, so to be honest, I don't know at this point in Yu-Gi-Oh, I don't know why people use 45 because like there's so many fucking search things. You have more. Having the larger deck just gives you more options. There's so many
quicker
searchers.
to get your things that search. Competitive speaking.
I understand that, but because with the sheer volume of searchers, I don't know. Depends. I guess it depends on what you're playing.
Well, the people who make their decks, they design them really good. I'll say that.
They designed to do one thing.
No.
It does one thing. Good.
No, they have multiple things to do. That would be ridiculous. What meta would live on a one thing? That's insane.
One that's incredibly fast, where your opponent doesn't get to do anything before you destroy them.
Derek, I don't think competitive takes like one turn, dude. I think they take more 5 to 8. Oh, hit KO.
Well, if casual can take
decks
aren't
aren't really much
take
of a
three
thing.
3 to 5. I don't see why competitive would take any longer.
Casual doesn't really take 3 to 8. It's not 3 to 5. It's more like 4 to 8. Like you could expect a 2-turn win. I guess you could get some 3-1s if you're unlucky with your deck, but I haven't lost it. The only ones that I see like that are just going up against Cyber Dragon. What happens to Cyber Dragon? Cyber Dragon is an hit KO deck. So if you go against Cyber Dragon, it either takes one turn,
either wins or it doesn't.
Or it literally takes like 2 turns for that. It's their first turn, they will win. If they fail, they've lost. Like, it's that. I remember there was one guy who did Cyber Dragon, and I happened to get 2 magic cylinders. All I did was set 2 magic cylinders. No, I set 1 magic cylinder. All I had was a magic cylinder. He summons this thing using, like, I think, Power Bond.
Fusion Bond.
Yeah. And
Bond,
it had, like, 6,000 attack. I magic cylinder it, and then he takes 3,000, and he just lost the duel. He lost I won on his first turn. Well, sorry, his second turn. Yeah, so it was the second turn. But, you know.
Zinker, I won on your first turn with Cardian.
How'd that happen?
Because you against your Cardian, you attacked my dice jar. I did 6,000 after you used Super Koi Koi or whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right, Super Koi Koi.
So you
there's
took 2,000
no reason
and
I
you
shouldn't be able to
just
escape
took
this
6,000.
my
favorite. That's my favorite thing is that's my favorite thing is how dumb that is.
Dice jar is stupid. All right, this fucking
I placed
Sneasel
a
is
single
fucking
card
dying.
face down.
I'm pissed that I just tried to ran away 3 times. I am killing this Sneasel, and it's going to be a nasty death. Anyhow, so Magitrix. Next time on Speletons. Bye-bye.